And we're
back
back in
in
the
the
room.
room. Here
And
we
I'm
are.
back
Here we are,
in the
Martin.
in the
And I've got
in
an
the
update, Martin.
okay. Update me.
Yeah, updated. We talked about a couple of podcasts ago. We talked about our tuna pasta
Oh yes.
um,
Yes.
recipes, right? And I
Yeah.
said, so we were comparing recipes, right? And
Yeah.
I put anchovies in mine. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't. I put capers, Martin.
Oh,
Capers.
capers. Okay.
To- It's a big, big, big difference. Capers, smash them, about 7 or 8 of them,
All right.
smash them a little bit, and put them in
Put
your
them
your
right.
tuna pasta,
Because actually,
and
I
it
I
makes.
do that as well.
Do
Yeah.
you? Okay,
Yeah.
and it makes a big difference. You just get this little twang on the edge of your tuna.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where'd you
Because
go,
you
Marty? You don't.
need that.
Where
What?
can you go? You go nowhere. You can't find any other
What?
ADHD podcast where you get cooking advice.
It is a regular Martha Stewart,
Yeah,
Gordon Ramsay,
yeah.
ADHD podcast, all rolled into one. Where you
Into
get,
one. Yeah.
yeah, where
And
we
on the
we
subject of
we take care
food,
of you. Yes.
there was a lady who's
Hmm.
she's ADHD, and
Okay.
she was on another podcast, but she's also a
Right.
nutrition expert, and
Okay.
she was saying, she was asked, food wise, what would be like a superfood for ADHDs? She had two things. One,
Okay. Yes.
eggs.
Eggs.
Okay, so like okay.
Okay. Protein. All
Two,
right. Yes.
peanut butter. I
Protein
kid
again.
you not. Peanut
Okay.
butter. She said, just like eat as much as peanut butter as you want, ADHD is.
Wait. What? Okay. All right.
I was shocked.
I am as well because I would have thought a whole different answer would have come out of her mouth,
Yeah.
which is
And she's written books. She's not like lightweight.
right.
The
Right.
other interesting thing she said
Okay. That's
is
weird.
that
All
because
right.
ADHDs have particularly active brains,
Yeah.
ADHDs burn calories with just their mental fatigue.
Yep. That's the same with autistic people as well, and it
Okay.
isn't just us. It's just like it's yeah, yeah. Our brains think more, so it burns
Yeah.
more. So
Right.
it's
Burn,
working
baby,
harder
burn.
and not lazy.
Do you mean burn, burn, burn like a ring of fire?
Yeah, like a
Okay.
ring of fire. Yeah, because honestly, in my head, I go, well, the gut biome is really important because actually that's almost like your second brain
Hmm.
down there,
Right.
and you have to look after that and you have to nurture that. So
Yeah.
probiotics,
Yeah.
and loads of fibrous food is really important. And as much and as least processed food as you can possibly muster. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, we do have peanut butter in our house, but it's the least processed peanut butter that you can get. Because
I think that's the
if you
point, isn't it? There's no point if it's got like palm oil in it. Just leave it. Let it go.
right, because all of the popular brands are just full of crap.
Shit.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not going to be helpful.
And I bet the good peanut butter is like twice the price. Probably.
Oh yeah. I mean, Jesus, it costs so much to be healthy. It's unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable. Um, and with that tasty
That
controversy,
bombshell.
welcome to ADHDville.
Peanut butter. Spread it as you like. Spread it everywhere. Chelsea buns.
Peanut
Bread.
butter.
Your crackers. Spread it where you like.
It's
Hello,
good,
I'm
but
Paul
not
Thompson.
all
I
that.
was diagnosed with the combined ADH and the D a year ago.
No, Martin Weston. I was diagnosed with the combined ADHD poo-poo platter in 2013.
So we're here
Yeah.
as kind of two mates who, by coincidence or not, after 39 years of friendship, discovered they were co-ADHDers. Hurrah! Now, it's really important, and really, really important to say that this is an entertainment podcast. Don't confuse it
Slightly
with
entertaining.
slightly, mildly, almost
Mildly
entertaining
entertaining.
podcast about adult ADHD. That's accurate. We're both
Thank
adults
you.
and we both have ADHD.
Let's
It's a
be
good
accurate.
start. And does not substitute for individualized advice, Martin, from
Mhm.
qualified health professionals. So
No, no,
don't take
no.
any advice from us. We're just here as a kind of all-inclusive ADHD park bench with room for everyone, including your
Yes.
doppelgangers, your alter egos, your buddy
That's
doubles, your
that's
chaperones, and even your best buddies.
that's
Still here,
buddies. Yeah.
congratulations. Then
Okay.
grab your jetpacks, pedalos, space hoppers, or any other transportation methods, and let us take you to ADHDville, an imaginary
Oh,
town we've created in our minds,
in our
where we like to explore
minds.
different parts of the H, the D, the H, and the D.
The H and the D and the H and the D.
Yeah,
Is that right?
The A and the D, and the H and the D.
Oh,
Oh,
well done. And
thanks.
we start off as always here in the town hall in the mayor's office, where we, the joint mayors of ADHD, take care of business. Yo, and this is a good,
Yo,
bad, and downright ugly episode. So let's jump
yes,
into the mayor's car and
yeah,
we'll head to the coffee shop, I think, and
yeah.
we'll shoot the breeze and
Shoot
spill
the
the tea
breeze.
on what
Yes.
is going on in our neurodivergent lives.
Doff the cap. I like to
Yes, let's
doff the
bring the
cap
car around.
or doff the
Let's
hat.
bring it around. Let's bring it around. Good lord, I tell you, like, I mean, I've got this. In case viewers don't know, on my mayor's desk, I've got this button, and I press it, and it just has the word "car" on it. It's this big
Yeah,
red button in a wooden box, and then the car is supposed to come round when I press the
yeah,
button. Like we
yeah,
have a chauffeur.
rep,
He's waiting there, ready
yeah,
for us.
yeah.
But
But
uh,
he's,
uh, oh, here he is!
oh,
Jesus
there he is.
Christ! Oh, blimey! Took its sweet time.
Blimey. He's having a fag.
Now, well, but better late than never. All right. So, in the coffee shop, yeah. Can I get you a drink, Mister
I
Co-Mayor
could have a
Host?
lemon and ginger infusion, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah,
very sexy.
love
Very
ginger.
sexy.
Ginger
Yeah.
lemon. I make it myself, actually, homemade.
All
Much
right.
better.
Oh, nice, nice. I will stick to my usual green tea because I'm a stickler for sticking. Um, all right. Well, who wants to go first and
You
talk
go
about
first, Martin. Go on.
ADHD love?
Fill your
Mine, I think,
boots.
is more on the bad and the ugly than it is on the good.
Oh, really?
I'm scrabbling to find any of the goods. Well, because I think it's because my primary job at the moment is just to recover from major surgery, right? So it's not like
Right.
I can run around and chop trees down and do any work. I have to kind of
Yeah.
like I can't lift anything over £10. I have to kind of take it easy. My job is just to kind of eat well and rest up and go for exercises and stuff like that. So
Right.
I don't. So my ADHD is like is yeah it's uh, the kind of good and productive side of it
Mm-hmm.
is non-existent really. I can't really point to
Okay.
anything that kind
Okay.
of goes that was an ADHD success.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I. On the other hand, I've got like probably the biggest mixture of the good, bad, and the ugly that I've ever had. Usually, I
Okay.
struggle with the ugly. Usually, it's just like bad, but not particularly ugly. I like clicking. I'm ticking all three boxes. On the
Okay.
good,
Yes.
I finished my sculpture.
Yay.
and I delivered it yesterday to
That's
the museum.
crazy.
Yeah,
How nuts is that?
set it up. Met the other 3 artists because there's 3 artists that are
Right.
exhibiting.
Yeah.
Because we've got our opening night is on Friday coming up.
Wow.
One of the guys is a friend of mine, Stefano,
Mm-hmm.
and the other guy is Japanese from Osaka. Lovely, lovely chap. The other guy's
Crazy.
was a young whippersnapper, Italian, and
Okay.
we met up yesterday. It was really cool because
Wow.
it was like teed up. The exhibition was teed up about 6 months ago,
Yeah.
and we've all been creating for the last 6 months. And we all
Huh.
arrived with our things. We hadn't seen any of our work.
All right.
None of us had seen anything. We didn't
So,
even. Well, not quite. Stefano had seen the like very early version of my sculpture when it was still just
all right.
papier mâché.
So, how did you feel? First up, how did you feel about when you put the sculpture up in the space and it was
Yeah,
there, sitting there? How did you
yeah.
feel about it?
I was like, oh, is it shit? Is it great? You know.
You're like,
But that's
how?
what I've been doing for the last 6 months anyway. We're crazy. You look at it, you get up one morning. I was like, I mean, it was like I was doing 8-hour days on it for weeks on end,
Right.
and it was like a hard work. I mean, that was the conversation that was always going through my head, and all the way through. Is it shit? You know, is it art or is it just like a is it just like something that's quite nice decorative element? You know, that your
Right.
dad would stick in his garden next to the concrete mermaid or something. But no, it got a really good reception. It looks good.
Okay.
It does look good. I'm happy with
All
it
right.
because
Okay.
it also I've been working in daylight because I've been working in the courtyard, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden it was under spotlights yesterday.
Oh wow.
You know,
And you were
amongst
like,
all the
ooh,
other
this is
museum
different.
exhibits, right? It's like
Right.
it's like mixed in with all a few of the exhibits that people will come in. It's only open at the weekend, the museum, and people will come in and they'll get a certain point to see my sculpture in the middle of the other normal things that would be at the museum.
All
And no,
right. So,
it stands up
and you thought
literally.
it can hold its own in amongst
It
all these
holds
other
its
little
own.
things. It holds
Yeah,
its own. Okay.
yeah,
Well, that's cool. And then, how did you feel about the other artists' work, which you
yeah,
hadn't seen? Were you like,
yeah. I
how
had
did
no
yeah?
idea, but it's all really cool. Really, really good. And actually, the last thing I said to the guys, we took a group photograph later, and which looks
Hang,
great. I really love it.
hang on a second.
All right.
My dog walker has just turned up. So
Okay.
you have to vamp for like
Okay.
10 seconds.
Yeah, vamping, 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 vamping. Look at little Eddie having a little cameo. I can't remember if is it his death. I know he's blind.
There we go.
Okay, so
Here he
Eddie's
goes.
blind, but is he deaf as
Yes,
well?
he's
Okay,
blind and mostly deaf. Yeah,
okay. Because I was
yeah.
calling him and he didn't react.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
Um.
All right.
So
So
yeah,
the
we
other.
put everything up, and then I said to the guys, because we didn't, you don't know till you've put it up. I said to the guys, actually, there's a really good, it's a really good collection of work that's just works somehow
All
in the
right.
space that we've been given. Yeah, and then we
All
took a
right.
group photograph, which is it's a really cool photograph, and
Okay.
yeah, standing outside the museum. Cool, all good.
All right. That is very, very interesting because it's like, yeah, because I I think of well, I think this is really it. So modern art, the, the for me, the point
Hmm.
is the reaction that you have to
Yeah.
it, right?
Hmm.
And that's the point of it. If it evokes some sort of response. So
Yeah.
if I was ever going to kind of go, is this good? Is this bad? yes,
Yeah.
on the one point, there's like as an artist, how satisfied do you feel about it?
Mm,
How
right.
is it is it doing the things for you that
Mm,
you kind of wanted it to?
yeah.
And then the other thing is like, well, what's other people's reactions to it? Because if you wanted other people to
Yeah.
have a reaction to it and then no one had a reaction to it and they were just
Mm,
like meh, blah, and just like
yeah.
they had no
Which, like we would
reaction
say
to it,
with
then
when we
that
talked about
mm,
our podcast, we'd rather people hated it than were indifferent. Yeah, we'd rather people loved our podcast, but if they
yes, I
hated
would
it,
say
that's
that.
okay too. Indifferent, like, oh god, that hurts, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So what you're trying to look for is like, I just don't want anyone to be like bored. Like
Yeah,
it produces nothing in you at all. You
yeah,
just eyes just look at it and kind
yeah,
of just glaze over and just go look at something else. But
yeah. But then I was thinking, like, there's a thing about I think most of the greatest work, whether it's in music or in the art world or whatever, most of the best work is created by crippling self doubt. You know, that is to
right.
be an artist or musician. That's the best work. Usually comes out of that kind of state of mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not
I
always a
mean,
bad thing.
at the end of the day, you kind of put stuff out there and you kind of go, right, well, do people like it or not? And then you end up with like some people will say something and you kind of go, well, are they being nice about it or is that what
Yeah,
they genuinely think? And then you
even
generally don't really hear much
yeah,
reaction from people anyway. So you end up relying on just you kind of
mm,
going, yeah, you know what, this was I I believe in this piece that I did, and that's
yeah,
enough.
yeah, exactly. Because you notice, like a lot of the major artists actually and musicians, one of the things they usually kind of nail down is there's this sense of like a type of character personalities, like they don't give a fuck about whatever what people think at all. It's usually
Right.
not true. They do care, but that's what
Yeah.
the persona they like to put out there because it
Well,
works for them somehow.
I think it ends up being self-preservation, right? Because you put your
Yeah,
heart and soul into something. So it's
totally.
not just like a sculpture. It could be anything. Like you do a painting or some
Yeah,
needlework or whatever it is, and you
yeah.
create something um, that you
I
that you put something of yourself in. And if someone
yeah.
turns around and kind of goes, well, that's a bunch of shit, isn't it? Then that's quite
I did get to a
soul
point where I was
destroying.
sick of looking at it. I was like, I couldn't wait. It's like, oh god, it was just like every day I was looking at it,
Yeah.
really with really bleeding eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
I think
ah,
I think that there is a sort of it certainly applies to songs. Like so, I write the music, and one of the common things that you have is from a musician is like, how do you know when a track is finished? Because you
mm-hmm,
can just keep noodling it, changing it, altering it,
mm,
yada yada yada. How do you know when it's
mm,
done?
yeah,
And it's often it's um, I'm just bored of it. I, I just don't want to do any more on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I've just had enough of it. So I've stopped, and
yeah.
that's it. That's where the
Mm.
track is. I'm just gonna put it out there
But
because
for me,
I've had it.
but it was finishing it. That was the thing. I've got so many
Right,
things that are have been unfinished, so that was a
but
big obstacle.
so how did you know when it was finished?
Well, I
At
don't
what
think it is
point did
finished
you?
yet. When I get it back, I want to do some things to it. So yeah,
Right. That's what I mean. Right, is that
yeah,
you can noodle it and noodle it
yeah,
and noodle it, and it just
totally.
changes a
There's,
little and a little and a little,
I saw
rather than
something. I
start
looked at
something
it
else.
2 days ago. I was looking at my sculpture. I thought, oh God, it would be so much better if I did this. It's a small detail, but it's something I want to change,
All right.
and it will improve it definitely.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. because the exhibition's only on for 3 weeks. So when
All right.
I get it back in middle of November, I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna remodel a little detail on it.
And then what happens to it?
It
What's its life
it
after
lives in
being
the
in the
garage
spotlight?
for the next 50 years. I don't know. I want to sell it to someone. I want someone to offer me ridiculous amounts of cash for it.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be
Um,
nice. Pay for the next one.
oh yeah, there we go, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Um, at, at this point, we would normally have you would have like a cowbell or something, right? That you would ring that would that transitions us from the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh, there we go. Thank you. All right, so now we go to the bad. Um, the bad. So my 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 bad is, well, I guess I'm on the good side. I've almost got all the taxes. I'm almost up to date with all of that, but I'm definitely on top of that, so that's good. I should have said that in the good section, but there's still loads of stuff that I didn't quite get done before my operation, so that, because I can't do much. Um, it means that my wife is having to do a lot more, and that's become quite quite hard because now all the rules change, right?
Right.
So for example, it's now a lot easier if rather than putting, so what would normally happen is that I would put stuff in the sink, right? I would use a cup or a plate and I'd take it and I'd put it in the sink, and then the sink would pile up, and then I'd empty the dishwasher, and then I'd wash and put all the stuff from the sink
Yeah.
into the dish, and that was my method. But as I'm not doing that now, and my wife is currently doing that, she wants the method to be, no, you wash that plate and you mug and you put it into the dishwasher so that the sink is always empty, right? And I'm like,
Okay.
okay, all right. So it's that, but my ADHD brain has become quite used to working in the way that I did,
Right.
so that I'll
Yeah.
forget stuff, right? I'll just put it in the sink
Hmm.
like I normally do. And it's just not that. There's like laundry things and all kinds of things where she's asking me to work in a different way to help
Right.
her, which makes
Yeah.
total sense. And then I just forget. I forget
Yeah.
because I've
Yeah.
spent so long, years doing it my
Yeah.
way.
Totally.
Now I'm doing it her way, and I'm finding that quite difficult.
We don't have a dishwasher, but she, uh, my girlfriend, she washes up in a different way. And I know that her logic is that it uses up less water, hot water, um, blah, blah, blah. But I can't do it the way she wants me to do it. And to be fair, she just lets me do it that way. Even if it uses, I don't think it uses that much hot water. It's just habit, you know. But I don't like my habits being changed in those days. Even it seems like it's significant, but to ADHD, it's not. It's like when it's something menial like that, you don't want to have to think about it, right?
Hmm. Right, because I think one of the problems is that ADHDs normally don't like structure and routine, and find that there's no dopamine in doing things like
Right.
washing up the
Yeah.
plates and stuff, right? So
There's no
it
wiggle
becomes,
room.
right. So you end up relying on a habit, right? So that you can
Yeah.
keep your ADHD brain entertained by, thinking of fun things or having a podcast on or talking to
Yeah.
someone or whatever, while your body, like by habit, just
Hmm.
does things like
Yeah.
does the washing up your way, right?
Yeah.
So that the task ends up being done,
Yeah.
and that's cool. But if,
Or that you can
yeah,
concentrate on other things where you know you're going to get the dopamine from. It's like for
yes,
me at
that's what I was
lunchtime,
saying.
I'll often cook a tuna pasta because I know I don't have to think about it. It's
Hmm.
mechanical.
Right.
So I can think about if I'm eating between I'm working on a project, and I kind of like go from my study downstairs to the kitchen. and I'm eating something, that process of making something to eat isn't going to interrupt my thinking pattern.
Yeah. Yep. I think if you've got underlying autism as well, which I suspect
Quite likely,
I have.
I think I have too.
I, s- I
Right?
suspect that we both do. You know
Yeah,
that there's part of us that relies on a bit of a rule based world in order to kind of make our ADHD
yeah.
um
But then the
uh
bastard of that,
work.
the rule and the habits thing, is that I also hate them. I hate the habit and the routine.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
bastard.
yep. That is the bastard. That is. I know because I think if I was either just straight autistic, you know, level one high masking low needs, that would be one thing. Or if I was just ADHD, that would be something else.
Yeah,
But when you've got them combined, they do fight somewhat. Um,
yeah. And
um,
I've looked at various podcasts or YouTube channels where they speak, or their headline is, what's the difference between ADHD and autism, and how can I spot the difference? I'm none the wiser.
none the wiser.
None the wiser.
Right. I,
I
yeah.
don't know. I think I
Well,
have
well,
something going on.
because as we said in the last podcast, which only seemed like an hour ago, but was last week,
Yeah, weird. Huh?
in podcast world, was oh Jesus! Now that I've said it, I've completely forgot
Uh,
the
or
point I was going to make.
spotting. Oh, none the wiser. ADHD
None
and
the wise, right?
autism.
Yeah, because the ADHD mask can, because it's louder, if you like, it's more prominent.
Mm,
It masks the kind of more quieter, the more
yeah.
gentle autism. So and even when I listen to people talk about, you know, like who are who do have both autism and ADHD, and someone says, oh, can you talk to me about the ADHD part? And they'll go,
Mm,
yeah, well, I am actually autistic. I do have both, but I'll try and
mm,
talk about just the ADHD side. This is like almost the kind of unsaid thing about
mm.
the
See,
problem
I
with this
think.
podcast is that we're both I think we're both ADHD, and
Right.
some of that autism has creeps
Mm,
into our ADHD world
yeah. I
and
think we
chatter.
should. I think, Martin, this sets us up for an episode dedicated to it.
Why not?
And how do you get diagnosed? I haven't even looked into it. Yeah.
In
Is there?
Italy, I have no idea, but I know that certainly in the States, it's very expensive. Like
Is it?
it would cost me about, you know, I would say 5 to 8,000 US
Jesus. Okay.
dollars to get an
Right.
ADHD to get an autism sorry an
Hmm.
autism assessment, which I was starting to go down the road of, but then I got cancer, and then the money
Right.
that I was going to use there, I've got to put towards the medical expenses and stuff. Um,
Right.
so I probably will
So.
not, and also I don't need, I'm not looking for accommodations, right? Um, I feel like I don't necessarily need one.
Yeah.
I know that in the UK, again, it is the same deal. It will be a long waiting list
Yeah.
for it. I don't know
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Italy though.
I have no idea. I'm gonna look into it. Okay.
Um,
Alrighty.
but I have taken all of the tests. Right, there's quite a lot of, you know, like uh, decent tests that people recommend, and I've taken all
Yeah.
of them, and they all go, "Yeah, mate, You are autistic, up, up, up to the eyeballs.
Oozing.
But oozing. I know. So I
Okay.
do apparently fit the DSM criteria. It would appear,
Yeah,
but
I haven't even looked into that. I haven't even got that. Haven't even got that far.
all right,
But
it's a journey. Whatevs.
it's a journey. It's a journey. All right. So
Yeah,
should we
that's
move on
me.
to says you're bad.
Yeah,
My
that's my
bad.
bad.
My bad. Oh, my bad is well, my bad is for the first time in 35 years I'm without work. And I mean for like 3 or 4 months now without work. And the pennies are drying up,
Oof.
like shriveling.
And that's just the bad, not the ugly.
That's not even the ugly. No. Well, that's the thing, Martin. Thanks for that segue. It's almost like we rehearsed it. If I hadn't had the diagnosis a year ago, this moment for me would be absolute shit show,
Right.
right? But because I've had a year of like diagnosis and stuff, I'm quite philosophical about it. A year ago, I would have been like a mess. I was like, "Oh fucking hell! Oh my god! Where's the work? Where's the money? Oh god, I've got no money left."
Right.
I mean, I'm sleeping. I could sleep,
Mm-hmm.
but it's tight. I mean, it's bad. It's way bad than it should have been because I've like overspent. Of course, I have over the last few months, years, and I shouldn't be where I am with money, anywhere near
Right.
it, and that's bad. And there's shaming involved. You
Yeah.
know, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Mm. It's not a good look. It's not a good feeling. Yeah.
So it's bad, but it's as I say, if I hadn't had this diagnosis, it would have been way worse. I'm kind of like, the thing that you end every episode on, Martin. Be fucking kind to yourself. I'm trying to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to in the
Yeah.
end.
Which after
Mm-hmm.
53 episodes of our podcast, the best advice we've got is actually the one thing that you say every episode right at the end. Like, be fucking kind to yourself.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yep. 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 Oh,
Give
my
yourself a
my
break.
my my dog walker has booked. Yeah, that's cool. Cheers. All right, he did all the business apparently. That's
Oh,
good.
lovely.
He's back.
He's back.
Eddie's back. He will
Okay, so we
probably.
got ugly.
You
Shall I
might
ring a
even
bell?
see him walk behind the camera. Oh,
Okay.
there he goes. I can just see him there. He's just popping around here. There he goes.
There
If
he
you're looking
is.
on YouTube, he
Eddie.
just came in and out of the frame. All
Let's
right.
move on to ugly.
Yeah. Ugly. Okay, ugly. This is where right. So I have got all kinds. So I'm in a similar place. I need money. I mean, Trisha can support, so that's a good thing. But I have not had any work. I've had a little bit of work has popped up, but really, I need to like focus on that.
Yeah.
I need to kind of pull my finger out. So that's one thing. Um, but also, I think that the whole you know the ugly part is that my relationship with my wife is really strained currently,
Uh-huh.
and that's because uh, she she needs me to take more responsibility for my ADHD. So rather than there's a blooming helicopter going overhead. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
just let that thing go. Whoa!
Wow.
It's an army one.
Sounds like a
Anyway,
Huey.
this is something. Spying on me. And where's my aluminium hat. Um. Oh yeah. So she's requiring me to kind of like take more ownership of my ADHD
Mhm.
instead of dopamine chasing.
Yeah.
So doing things that I want to do rather than things that I have to do. Um,
Yeah.
um, Especially now, as you know, as I'm recuperating and I can do less, but
Right.
she's asking, she's kind of quite tired now of my lack of my work
Mm.
or my ADHD. So
Okay.
like I should have more I should have more ways of getting past the time blindness of the rejection sensitivity, like so she's uh yeah, so she's not happy. I'm not in a good
Right.
place on that front. And that's fairly ugly.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I don't know where you are with it because we're similar age, like 2 years difference, less than 2 years difference, year and a half difference, I think, between us. I mean, for the first time in my life, I'm having to like reinvent myself as a
Mhm.
57-year-old man. You know, that's not easy.
No.
You like 35 years, and I never had to look for work. I've never had a day of unemployment. Um, and all of a sudden you get to 57, it's like you've got so many things to deal with. Um, you got ageism, right? You've
Yep.
got basic things like you don't have the energy you used to have. You certainly, if you're like me, I do not have the will or the do not want to go and have to work in another office. I
No.
don't want it. Don't want that. Can't be
No.
doing with it. I haven't got the patience for it. Dealing with office politics, just don't want to do it. I've done enough of it. I think I've done enough of it. So it's like a really difficult moment.
Mhm.
Um, at our age, you also go through andropause. So you've got like physiological changes going on. Your hormones are like like dipping a lot.
Mhm.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No. It's
Um,
it is not. I'm having to think about, like trying to kind of come up with a whole bunch of different money money things. So yeah, I
yeah,
can do the whole graphic design thing. I can, I'm a creative director, so there's quite a lot there that I can do. But like I can't rely on one source. So you
yeah,
know, my wife is saying, well, you can take dogs for a walk. Yeah, but you'll
right.
have to get insurance for it. But so yeah, no, I could I could take
Yeah,
dogs
you
for a walk.
could. Right. I was
Um,
looking at jobs in Amazon warehouses a couple of weeks
all
ago.
right. Oh God, yeah. That's
Fucking
a
hell.
they are appalling jobs. But yes,
Yeah,
but you do get to a point where it's like I have to kind of I have to find something. I have to
yeah.
survive. Um,
I had an
yeah.
interview for a job last week. Oh, well, that leads into my ugly.
All right.
Um, well, I mean, it's the same as yours, really, Martin. A lot of it. I've got here bad moment in my life, holding it together.
Jesus, fucking
I
cross.
lost, I lost my two teaching jobs
Oh
last
yeah,
week.
yeah. Oh, you're telling me.
And I put my heart and soul into that, into my kids, my students, like I've never put my heart and soul into anything. I gave it
Right.
everything. And because of the bad state system, bureaucracy, they
Mm-hmm.
stopped schools from choosing their own teachers, supply teachers, and the basically the region decided for them. And so said, "Oh, sorry, Paul, we
Wow.
can't have you back." And I was pissed off, like really pissed off. But moreover, on a practical level, I need to get some money in, and so looking at other jobs, waiting to hear from a preschool, private preschool job, teaching three to
Right.
6 year olds. I should hear
Wow.
at the end of this week, which
That's
would be a
crazy.
joy. That's going to be a joy. It
Three
was a
to
lot of
six.
fun, actually. Huh?
They are a handful. They
A
are a
handful.
handful.
Oh yeah, but it was great. I don't know.
Cool.
I've got a bad feeling about it, but I shouldn't. I've got a bad feeling. I think I'm just going through like a really bad moment, and I haven't seen the end of it. I think I'm like, it feels like I'm like in there for like the ride. It's like just
Right.
got to go with it.
Yeah. This is some. Yeah, because one of the things that motivates you if you have ADHD, one of them is like fear, right? Survival mode, and
Yeah,
when you get, and that can, when that kicks in, then you hyper focus on doing whatever it takes to kind of win the day. Get
yeah.
yourself out
It
of
it
a
is
crisis.
survival mode. That's
Yeah,
exactly the right expression.
yeah,
Because you see guys that are our age, and you're like, they trying to change jobs at our age is not easy. Like just
careers, you mean,
yeah, careers,
and
changing
jobs?
careers, sorry, and jobs. It's not easy.
No,
Um, you get to a point where it's like I don't know, you're like a bit of limbo. It's like you feel like you've worked hard enough in a way. I know it's bullshit. We don't have a right to be. I personally don't think I have any right at all to feel like I should be comfortable. No way.
right,
The amount of money that I've splurged on bullshit over the years.
right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, now I'm in this uncomfortable place where I'm I'm a kept man,
Right.
which
Yeah, me
I
too
don't.
at the moment.
Which you know, there have been periods where I've been the person with the full time job, and my wife
Hmm.
hasn't had a job, and you know, so there's been kind of so there's been periods where it's been the other way around, but I but and it isn't necessarily like I feel like I'm a failure because I don't have a job. It's just that
Yeah.
it's it's just that when you've kind of spent almost your entire life working, and
Yeah.
then you don't, and then the other person is the one paying for stuff,
Yeah.
even though it has been around the other way around before, it you know it's not
Hmm.
it's not great. It's not great. I don't,
I
because
I told my girlfriend, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I know that I'm trying my best, and I can say that I'm trying my best to like. I'm not, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to go working in an Amazon warehouse. That'd be soul destroying. And it just the thought of it is soul destroying that I have to even think about it. It's like, oh God,
yeah,
you know, that's a,
yeah.
that's a bastard. But
I'm
all I know is I'll do my best. I'm being philosophical about it, and then that's good enough. I think is good enough.
Yeah, I'm just I am going to allow myself to get into a bit of a survival mode mentality, because otherwise I won't fucking do anything.
Yeah,
I won't I won't do anything.
yeah,
So I'm going to have to allow myself to slip into that place to kind of
yeah,
try and hunt for streams of income um that can support me,
yeah.
and my impulsive purchases.
Right. I've got to the point now with on my LinkedIn profile. I've gone from a year ago I was just a creative director. Now on my LinkedIn profile description, it's got um, I've got creative director, photographer, artist, teacher, and podcaster.
Oh blimey!
Which I like that. It's really
All right.
I like the way it sounds.
Ah, yeah. No,
You know.
my LinkedIn is very much definitely just creative director, because if there's any work that was going to come my way, if
Yeah.
there's any like freelance agencies or whatever, I want them just to kind of like, I just want LinkedIn to be that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just want it to be the creative graphic design
Yeah.
ad
Yeah.
agency
Got it.
world.
Yeah.
I don't want to pull in anything else, um, because because my thing is I'll think that that a recruitment agency or someone who's got a a, a short term gig or something,
Yeah.
who are looking for a creative director. If my job description doesn't just say creative director, it
Yeah.
has
Yeah. Yeah.
other
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
in it. Personally, I kind of feel like they won't pick me because I'm not. They're looking for
Right.
one thing,
You're not
and I'm just going to
focused.
offer them one thing, and then it's like a
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Otherwise, I end up
Yeah.
looking like I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I've
feel
been
like I'll
trying
just
to
be
offer
passed
one
over.
thing for a long time, but yeah. I just think if like I think the key to it is agility. So if
Hmm.
from my personal point of view, if my LinkedIn profile shows that agility, that's cool with me.
Yeah,
I think because it's like we have to be. I think that's what modern working world, professional world is like demands of us. Really, is we have to be agile. Can't be a one trick pony.
you can't be a one trick pony. No,
I feel
no,
like a
and
five trick pony.
it is weird now that we've got to our point in our life and like having to, as you say, reinvent who you are
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not easy.
no,
When you've had like habits and like, because when you have ADHD, it's hard enough to get through this world, right? So you
yeah,
find ways to make it work that don't kill you, and
yeah,
then you're very loath to give that up because
mm,
you end up having to work out another whole existence and a whole set
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
things,
if I had to,
rules,
if I had to
ways of
go work
being.
in a supermarket, in no disrespect to anyone who works in a supermarket at all, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
It'd be
I've
like
worked in a
let's
supermarket.
watch Paul slowly die in a supermarket.
I quite liked working in a supermarket when I was a student at art
Waitrose,
college. Yeah,
yeah.
it was it was the kind of
Judy
job that
Dench's. Oh no, that was Steve
that
Whitmore.
all right, that it was a
He
kind
worked
of
at
job that I could
Waitrose.
literally, yeah, that I could, my brain could be elsewhere thinking about stuff, and I just literally would
Okay,
just like stack shelves. It
yeah,
was very routine. It didn't require any. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I can see someone can get really bored really quickly
I don't want to turn into
because
Michael Douglas.
what, the actor,
Yeah,
the film actor,
yeah. You know the film when he went mad. He just shot everyone up with a machine gun.
oh yeah,
What was it called?
I don't
He
know.
just lost it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's actually quite a
yeah,
good film.
the yeah, there's a lot of that service industry kind of and retail that feels I would struggle in it,
Yeah,
or maybe I wouldn't.
maybe we wouldn't.
Maybe I would be quite happy
You
just.
you liked. I remember you liked working in the mental institution.
Oh yeah, that was a that was a that was a bunch of crazy people. Honestly,
Other
where are we
patients
now?
too.
49. Yeah. You know what?
49. I've got.
I
I can
will
smell a
go on.
rabbit cooking because I bought a rabbit yesterday. Of course I did,
All right.
and it's. I can
Okay.
smell it.
Oh
Ooh,
blimey. All right.
got roast
Well,
chicken. A roast.
I think
Sorry, roast rabbit.
that sounds awesome. So I think therefore, um, we should jump into the mayor's car and
Kahar.
get to the post office,
Yes.
um, and we will exit our way out. So let's just kind of hopefully the chauffeur hasn't fallen asleep. So let's just get that round. Thank you. All right. Bloody post office.
Okay.
Look at it. Good God. You have a line. Hit it.
I do. So your feedback is vital to us. It says here, we read all of your comments. Actually, we do. And we might read yours out on a future podcast, Martin.
Right. So like
Your
and
bit.
subscribe
Yes.
as well. Don't, be a part of ADHDville. So with that said, ADHDville is delivered fresh every Tuesday to all purveyors of fine podcasts. Please subscribe to the pod and rate us most magnificent. And feel free to correspond at will in the comments. But wait, there's more. If you wish to see our beautiful, beautiful faces, then sally forth to the YouTubes and the TikToks. You can also pick up a quill and email us at ADHD. I flew too close to the sun. Let's start again. You can also pick up a quill and email us.
You forgot the outro music.
ADHDville@gmail.com. But in the meantime, be fucking kind to yourself.
And I beseech you, fellow ADHDers, know thyself, sons of the hounds, come hither and get the flesh.
There.
There, says the mayor.
You forgot
That's
the
that.
outro music.
It's there. It's
Is
there. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I know that you can't hear it, but it's definitely there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why you can't hear it, but it's there. All right.